Hey everyone, it's Kristin Sherry. Thanks for joining me for another episode of Maximize 365, a year of actionable tips to transform your life. So we're working through a spirituality section entry today, and it's about spiritual mentors. So the spirituality section of this book is really not about religion, though I am a practicing Christian. I'm not a religious person in terms of the legalism and rule following. I really focus on things like building wisdom and joy and how do you thrive in difficult times and character and things like leaving a legacy, finding purpose, and that's all connected to a higher source, of course. And in my case, I'm a Christ follower, but I was an atheist, so I don't, years ago, and so I don't push a particular faith. I find that there are universal principles that Jesus taught that appeal to all of mankind. And those are things like finding joy, kindness, patience, self-control, love, leaving a legacy. And who doesn't want to learn how to thrive in difficult times? But to build all of these things, one of the foundations is spiritual mentorship. So identifying people who have gone before you, who exhibit the character or the traits that you're looking to build in yourself. And really, when we have spiritual emptiness, that foundation is really missing to be able to add value, not just to our own life, but to the lives of other people. So the quote today is from Max Lucado and says, "In our faith, we follow in someone's steps. In our faith, we leave footprints to guide others. It's the principle of discipleship." So there's a few things in that quote that I really love. It's not just about ourselves, like we're following in the footsteps of people who went before us to help us and to guide us. We're not doing this alone. And we're creating these footprints to guide other people now. So these footprints to guide other people is really paying it forward. So once we develop these things in ourselves, we learn how to pay it forward to other people. So spiritual mentorship facilitates our spiritual growth. And that spiritual maturity that we develop through that mentorship is what gives us the wisdom, the love, the faith, the joy, the kindness, and the self-control that we seek to live mature, emotionally intelligent lives. So I've worked with spiritual mentors in my own life, and they were instrumental for a number of reasons. Answering questions, giving examples from their own lives that I could take those concepts, those principles, and apply them to my own life, helping me build my faith, helping me to learn to be patient in times of waiting, and to be more kind to other people and to myself. So these mentors guided me towards clarity on the person that I want to become. And so a practical example is how I govern and conduct my behavior online. So it can be really tempting to just let loose on people that you don't agree with, especially strangers that you don't have a trusting relationship or that you're not invested in. But I always conduct myself online in a way that if my grandmother or my mother or someone that I hold in high esteem, because sometimes we don't hold relatives in high esteem, I do in those examples, but people we hold in high esteem, how would they feel if they saw this? And also, if this were printed on the front page of the paper, would I be proud of myself? So I always think about that before I post something online. So this spiritual discipleship or this mentoring, it builds our humility. That's such an undervalued trait, but how many people do you know that are humble? That trait tends to be respected, even though we don't encourage people to build humility a lot. And it equips us for life and it connects us to our community. So here's your idea for action. I want you to make a list of what's important to you in a spiritual mentor and list the names of 2 to 3 people who fit your criteria. So here's an example. I seek a spiritual mentor who lives out the spiritual disciplines of my faith, creates a space of trust and intimacy, recognizes potential in people, leads a life worthy of emulating. I think that's really important, and is authentically spiritually mature and wise. So those are things I want you to think about for yourself. What are the things that you would look for? Obviously, that they lead a life worthy of emulating, I think should be relevant for everyone. But what are the things specific to you? And let me know in the comments, do you have a spiritual mentor? And what are you looking for in a spiritual mentor? Take care.